Okay, good morning everybody. So we're at 7:30. FTSE opens in half an hour. Um, really not too much has changed from last week. We're still just in this sideways chop. It's definitely the longest sideways range that I can remember in the FTSE. We've tried to break down several times. We've tried to break up several times, and everything is failing. Now, yesterday, we rallied right back up into the 6220 levels. The market stopped dead. It just ranged sideways up there into the close. And then the American markets brought the FTSE down last night. Um, Clearly a negative sign. When we're up here and the market can't break above 6220 and then the market falls away. Of course, it's a negative sign. However, pre-market, we are once again back up again. Um, it's good to be careful with price action like this because it's not really giving very clear signals. Yesterday, when we were up here, for me, I really expected it to push a little bit higher and try and take out the stops up here, but it didn't. It just stopped dead. Um, Today, really, there's a couple of key zones that I'm going to be watching. I am going to be trading quite carefully today, as I have been whilst we've been in this range. There was a sell-off last night from the American markets. Then late last night we just chopped sideways, and pre-market once again we're back up. This is really, certainly this morning, the most important zone for me. 6197.3 to 6200. I want to see how the market reacts here pre-market. If we break back above here and we start staying above here once again, I'd still expect the market to rally up and have a go at the stops that are going to be up here. This zone, this is exactly where the market stopped yesterday. It's where it's been stopping over and over and over again. It's still a great zone to trade from. I'm just looking at my price action, reading the price action whilst we're in this range. It's the exact same. If we break through here, I'm expecting the market to come back down again, most likely all the way down to 6100 once again. This is where the market has been coming down to over and over again. 6066 is really where we've had the strong support coming in, and the market has just refused to break through here. So on the 4-hour time frame, you can see this, you can see the market is just going sideways here, and volatility is starting to drop off, and not a lot is happening. This tends to happen before the market makes a strong move. However, it's not been doing anything for such a long time now, that it's very difficult to know when that is going to happen. So for me today, I'm just purely taking my zones, taking the strongest zones, looking at the price action at those zones, and trading around the price action until this market starts to break up or down and remain either bullish or bearish. It's just, I'm just doing the exact same thing week in, week out, day in, day out. Same zones, almost the same zones. They do change day to day. However, they are around about the same levels. And that's pretty much what I'm looking at. There's not a lot else I can go over right now. Okay, so we're still pre-market, 7:45. Price action has just stopped at this key level that I identified this morning. And we then produced a piercing pattern, tiny little bit earlier than I usually like to take signals. However, with the market just going sideways for so long here, pausing at this level, then getting the piercing pattern, I'm happy to get in here pre-market. And realistically, I'm going to watch what happens at the open for my clues, but most likely down to 6180 is going to be my target. Depends what happens as we get closer to the open and then as the market opens. As we know, volatility is a lot higher at the open, so it's always good to be a little bit careful, to manage your trades a little bit tighter, and just not let the market move against you quite so much. Okay, I just got this recording back on. We spiked up at 7.55. The market hasn't really gone anywhere though. We pushed through, we had a doji candle, and then we spiked up just before the open. Really, I'm just watching now to see if we start breaking up above this level. If we do, I'd likely just close it out. Around about 6.213 levels. I'm just watching to see what happens now. See if this level holds as support, or see if we come crashing back through. And really, I am expecting it to come back through again. We've broke up here. For me, it's really sort of false bravado before we come back down again. I'd expect it, to come down into the 6,180 levels as a minimum. We've opened back up at the highs up here. Not the highs, sorry. We fell off last night into the American close, and then we have tried to retrace most of it pre-market. But yesterday we failed over and over and over again, just up above at 6,220 levels. So for me, the market was really weak. I just wanted a little bit of evidence before I got into the market. I got it with the 735 piercing pattern right here. My target is going to be down here, 6,180. The breakthrough, the market does what the market does. Quite often you see things like this to fool people into taking different trades. So, they'll see this and they'll think, oh, this is a breakout move, and they'll go long and they'll get in and they'll see this, and this will have them excited and they'll want to stay in the move, and then the market just plummets. It's usually what happens. There's not a lot to say, guys, when we're in trades. When you're in a trade, not a lot happens. Certainly not as candles are forming. You're only really thinking about things at the close of candles, and even then, it's only when you get strong signs that things may be changing, or you may need to be altering your trading plan or your trade plan. So you can skip along if you don't want to watch the trade. Nothing as yet. So we're just looking for 6,180. If I'm not speaking, it's just because I'm not doing anything. I'd sing to you, but I don't want to blow your eardrums. What I'll do is I'll cut this video down, just because not a lot's happening. There's no point of sitting watching a 5-minute candle form. So I'll cut the video down, into smaller segments. Okay, so we are starting to try to come back down once again. And we had our reaction at 8:05. It's just these lows, these swing lows. Quite often you get a little reaction at the overnight sort of levels, the overnight lows and the overnight highs. Okay, so we're coming down now. My entry again was off of this piercing pattern. It was slightly earlier than I like. The key thing was, when the market spiked up, you don't panic. You just, you stay with your analysis, you stay with your trade, until you are proven incorrect. And the market has then crashed back down at 8. It's actually a different type of trade that I usually take set up also. However, I was already in this trade, so I didn't take the second trade. But it gave me a little bit of extra confluence and a little bit more confidence to stay in this trade. Now I'm just watching it, seeing how it reacts. I would really like it to come down and break these lows now and get towards target. You never like seeing tails like this, bullish tails, when you are in a sell position. It's reacting off of this area right here. Just getting ready to close out, just watching how it's reacting. That's the position closed, trade done. With the volatility recently being so low, that will probably be done for today, to be honest. I'm taking slightly smaller moves just because of the way the market's been reacting. But the trade today, I identified this as the key level this morning for me. I really wanted to see how the market reacted here. We're moving sideways, butting off of it after we'd sold off very strongly in the American markets yesterday. You can see this is yesterday's price action, just bouncing along this area, using this support level over and over and over again. When it tied in with the pivot point today, I was more than happy to take this as a key area. Got the piercing pattern just slightly earlier than I would have liked, but it was a good setup with the sideways range adding to the confluence. The market then shot up. This is where a lot of people panic. They close out. You tend to find they actually close out way up here. That's when they really start to panic and they see the move moving against them. It's important to hold on to your trade. Let the market tell you what it wants to do, and don't just exit trades because you're seeing negative. There's always noise in the markets, especially on the lower time frames. Okay guys, so I'll come back at 4:30. I'll go over the rest of the market opportunities using my zones, and we'll have a look and see if the market has finally been able to break out of this range. Alright, it's 4:35, the FTSE is now closed. The first thing we can see is we have had an update today. If we go on to the 4-hour chart, we can see that price action now is right up at the highs. The highest price traded certainly in the last month and a half. I'd be very surprised now if the market doesn't push up at least into sort of the 6250s, 6260s, looking to clear out stops. There'll be quite a lot of stops up here from people who have gone short swing trading, expecting the market to collapse back down again. I'd be very surprised if the market doesn't pop up now and take all of them out. So on the 5-minute time frame, let's have a look at what happened today. We fell away in the morning, and then we've just traded sideways, not really gone anywhere until our news release at 9:30. This is an inflation news for the UK. Broke down a tiny bit right after this, and then the market found its strength. Now, this was the key area for me today, as mentioned. We had the pivot level, 6200 and 6197.3. I wanted to see how the market reacted here. And you can see, first of all, the market has been bouncing along it pretty much all day. It's been the main basis of support and resistance for it. Now, for me, following my methods, there was only a couple of trades to take today. The first one I actually went over with subscribers. Let me have a look. This one right here, 130. The market comes up here, breaks the zone, comes back down, breaks below, comes back up, breaks above. Then we get our buy signal. And the buy signal triggered in. For me, working out the first target for this trade, you're just looking, for sensible areas of support and resistance nearby. Localized highs, localized lows. It was 6213. You can see, the market touches here, 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 and here, and here. Market pushed up, it then fell away again. The key when it falls away, a lot of traders panic, especially when a move begins to move against them like this. However, if you've picked out your first target and you're happy with your first target, wait until the market gives you strong evidence that it's moving against you and that your trade is incorrect. It didn't do that. It only came back down into the support area, retested, maintained the support, and then shot up into 6213. When it gets there, once again we come down. We get this candle here, relatively strong candle, trying to come through the zone, and then instantly the next candle is an engulfing candle, signal candle, and up the market goes from there very strongly. Reached up to this zone, barely paused here. This fits in with the price action over the last few days, last sort of week definitely. With the market refusing to break down so many times, let's have a look. Really, it's been coming down to this 6066 level repeatedly and bouncing off of it very strongly. With that happening and with the market starting to move up now, I was expecting at least these stops up here to get taken out, and that is going to, well, it should ramp the market up higher. The market's closed now, so we're going to see what happens tomorrow morning with the trading. If we maintain our price action up here into the 8 o'clock open, I certainly would expect it to shove up and take out these stops. Okay guys, so as always, do subscribe to Decisive Trading if you are learning how to trade. I'm James Orr, and I hope you've all had a great trading week.